suffocated.
Is it just strong, a strong energy, a strong presence?
I feel like...
Is it just residue of the house?
No, well, there's definitive residue here. There's definitive thick terror, fear. I don't know what happened here, but it's too thick. It's too thick to just be residue. And it feels like there's something consciously... reason I had to go down.
What is it about the bathroom?
I felt like I had to get away, but I couldn't get away.
Evidence suggests that the victims were trying to escape down the hallway and were being subdued. They were probably trying to hide.
Secret is not for pain, it's just for sleep. Because why would you take pain medicine when all you want is sleep? Secret, because sleep is a beautiful thing. Even in the dead of winter, the hunt continues. The wolves, the harshest conditions, can work to their advantage in pursuit of prey. Wolves have an innate desire for meat, just like dogs. No dog. Satisfying a dog's desire for meat starts with Blue Wilderness. It's a grain-free food that's made with more of the meat dogs love. Blue Wilderness. Because wolves are dogs. Wolves are dogs. It's been great having you down there. It's been great. It's been great. He loves that.
How many times have you played it today?
Oh, I don't know. 100. John eats, drinks, and sleeps on. Literally, he sleeps on the ice and has a practice. Gets the rest, but skating to the website. I even have any new songs.
Are you ready for the meeting? Is this look ready to you? Paris? Milan? Winners? You catch your mind. Ladies, gentlemen, let's chat. So what was the damage? It was practically criminal. New Exhibitionist Mascara, a more dramatic look with every coat. From CoverGirl.
I really want to believe that the heartbreak made a difference.
She's going to be free.
It's just a wonderful feeling. Recreate underwater worlds like no one's ever seen it.
The connection between people and animals, it's amazing.
One of our dogs is going to get a home.
This is a huge win.
They're going to cross the road. Watch us when they cross the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Watch when they go across. Most drivers, once they realize what's going on, they'll stop. See, this is bad. Just watch this for a minute. Did you hear the car? Yeah, that's the big deal.
Seeing these cars just barely stop in time is super scary. No one wants to witness that. We're lucky today to have aware drivers, people who are paying attention, who respected the wildlife, but it doesn't always go that way.
Everybody's stopping. But this is the issue. I mean, average traffic speed on this road is somewhere between 45 and 55. And it's wide open. You can see things, right? And they're still having trouble crossing. The tourists allow the communities to flourish, right? But at the same time, with this kind of visitation rate, it is kind of problematic, and it's because we're trying to, steward the resources. I'm going to show you guys wildlife underpasses that we're creating out there, working with the Department of Transportation. And the whole reason we're doing that is exactly for this reason, right? The animals want to get across the road, they're struggling with it. Every year we're adding 1,000 new residents to the Kenai Peninsula. That's something that's only going to get worse with time. It's not going to go away.
Here's an expression dust that. This is from a cub. It's from this morning. Probably this morning, maybe last night, but I think this morning. Keep an eye out, we might see some more.
As we're heading out, there's bear sign everywhere, scat, tracks everywhere. So with all this sign, there's definitely bears in the area. Not only looking for bears, but you also want to kind of listen. If they see you first and you don't see them, yeah, a lot of times you can hear them huffing. You see it?
Yeah.
It's basically them kind of getting a little anxious that you're getting close to them.
You see the bear off there at 11 o'clock, right? We see 3 small heads pop up, so we see a nice big brown sow with some really beautiful brown spring cubs.
Guys, I just get nervous. Just go down slowly. Ready?
Crouched down, so if a bear does look in our direction, it won't see us.
I just anchor around like this, go back. I can't just get if she looks at you. And looks a little nervous, I'm just gonna have to just screw down again. Let's go.
I've had a good 22 years living in bear country, close with bears, and this approach takes a lot of alertness. You're kind of worn out by the end of the day because you're kind of on control the whole time.
Bill's done this for a long time, so he knows how to do it. We're trying to get in there, observe the bears without disturbing them. So in a way, it's almost like we're sneaking through the area. It can get dangerous. There is problem bears out there.
After I located the snares, I had an idea of somebody I wanted to just have a little chat with him, see if he knows anything. A person of interest. Can I come in? You okay, Dirk? Yeah? Yeah? See? All I know is he likes to trap, has trapped in that general area, and some of the manner in which these snares were set out was consistent with the way I'd seen them trapped in the past. Okay. Doesn't look like anybody's answering the door. His truck's here, but he's not answering the door. So maybe we'll try his place of business and then go from there. He may or may not be inside, but he's not answering the door. Who's this? This is probably him. Hello, Chris Johnson.
I just got a call from my landlord. You guys looking at my windows of my house. What's going on, man?
Okay, I wanted to talk to you in person about trapping.
About trapping?
Yep. I just want to interview you and get some information, get some things down on paper. I'm just following my investigation.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. I'm just trying to gather information. It's not accusatory, and I arranged for him to come in and meet me at my office.
We're going down to Lower Falls today to check on our cameras that we set up and see what kind of bear activity is going on down there right now. There's a lot more willows and alders throughout the entire area, so it's a place where you really gotta watch what you're doing, because any time a bear could walk out of the bushes or come around a bend in the creek. A lot of times when you're moving into an area and the bear kind of knows you're there first.
Personal care and memory care to help around the house. Home Instead offers personalized in-home services for your loved ones. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
The best part about being a backfitter installer is the view. Homeowners greet us in the morning and love that we're going to install a beautiful new tub right over the old one, tucked in the bathroom part. But they're never quite prepared for what they get. We call it the wow. When they see their new bathtub that's high quality and more beautiful than they could have imagined, I can't help but smile. Since it's backfitter, it's built to last a lifetime. We guarantee it.
Book your free in-home consultation today. Call or visit bathfitter.com.
Hey, what's up, honey?
New house? And if we're getting a new car, you need to know where to stop.
Really?
Really? Our garbage cans are trash. Who's got your back? And your front and sides, too. This estate comes with obstacle distance indicator, so you'll know it's there before you do. Laura's got your number. Until April 1st, you get no charge for drive plus $3,500 in rebates.
Yeah, I really do have my number.
Get the SUV built to have your back. Get an estate today.
At Canada Dry, we think you should take a moment every day to chill out with something you love to do. Because there's countless ways to find your chill. And the crisp, clean taste of real ginger, we're glad to be one of them. Canada Dry. Real ginger, real chill.
There is another surprise departure, this time from the Liberal caucus. The Prime Minister confirmed today with the MP Selena Cesar-Chavin has quit caucus. She will sit as an independent. Earlier this month, Cesar-Chavin said Justin Trudeau yelled at her when she told him she would not be running for re-election.
Why is it that he can't see when he silences women, when he yells and screams at them, when he says that their experiences are just different perspectives? He is demeaning all women and showing what a fake feminist he is.
That's Conservative MP Candice Bergen hammering the Prime Minister in question period after the news of Cesar-Chavin's departure. The opposition has also slammed the Liberals over their budget, calling it a cover-up of the SNC Lavalin controversy. Liberal MPs on the Justice Committee have ended their probe into the affair despite requests for a second testimony from Jody Wilson-Raybould. Hello everyone, I'm Andrew Nichols. Also today, we're waiting to hear the sentence of an Ontario man who used sexsomnia as a defense against a sexual assault charge.
He's not sorry, and that's something I'm not going to do.
That's Becca Daoud speaking outside a Brockville, Ontario courthouse. Ryan Hartman was convicted of sexual assault against Daoud in 2011. Earlier today, a last-minute attempt to have the case thrown out was dismissed. The defense is asking for half his sentence to be served under house arrest and the other half under a strict curfew. Survivors in Mozambique are desperate in the wake of a deadly cyclone. Aid workers are still trying to reach people who are trapped in their homes. Now there are fears of waterborne disease. It's estimated more than 2.5 million people were affected by the storm. Neighboring Malawi and Zimbabwe have also been hit hard. For the very latest, tune in to CBC News Network. Go to cbcnews.ca.
Tylenol Rapid Release Gels start to dissolve in seconds and effectively relieve pain at rapid speed. Tylenol. Rapid release, rapid relief.
Trouble seeing the road? Get free Michelin Hybrid wiper blades with every oil change. A $40 value when you redeem your coupon. It's Mr. Lube's Change Your Oil, Change Your Wipers event. Get your coupon at MrLube.com.
Shopping for home and Wayfair is so easy. You should make a jingle. Wayfair, you make home shopping easy.
This is cool.
Disney Plus make my shopping a breeze. You got in my room when I'm falling asleep.
How about Wayfair? You got just what I need.
That's okay.
That's pretty good.
Discover easier home shopping at Wayfair, where it's find and online. Wayfair, you got just what I need. How to break up your sugary soda with nothing. And ice cream. It's not you. It's it. Live happily ever after. SodaStream.
Short from Green Shield Canada. Question.
I don't know what you're going to do once we don't need
Rising
you.
healthcare costs is not covered by your government health insurance plan. Expenses like prescription drugs, dental or vision care, physiotherapists, chiropractors, home care, and more. The answer? Sure Health Plans from Green Shield Canada. Sure Health Plans protect you and your family from healthcare costs not covered by your government health insurance plan, like prescription drugs, dental care, vision care, physiotherapists, chiropractors, and much more. And if someone in your family has a serious accident or illness, Sure Health Plans cover those expenses too. For most Sure Health plans, your acceptance is guaranteed, with no health exam and no medical questions when you apply. And it's affordable. If you don't have health coverage at work, are self-employed, retired, or retiring soon, visit us at surehealth.ca or call 1-844-477-7873 for your free, no-obligation Sure Health brochure.
Feeling nausea and vomiting are creeping up on you? Bravo works fast, then lasts, releasing medicine for up to 12 hours. Don't take chances. Trust fast-acting, long-lasting Bravo.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford has been cleared of any wrongdoing after appointing his friend Ron Kavanagh as OPP Commissioner. The Toronto Police Superintendent initially didn't meet the criteria listed for the position. The Premier's questionable hire prompted an investigation by the Ontario Integrity Commission. Justice David Wake concluded Ford didn't breach conflict of interest rules. He said although there are troubling aspects of the recruitment process and the system itself is flawed, he believes the Premier stayed away from the process and trusted it to be independent, after withdrew his name for consideration earlier this month. Project Media has sold the last of its once massive bundle of magazines. The 7 remaining titles are being sold to the publisher Toronto Light and Wedding Bells. The decision by Rogers to leave Coke behind reflects consumer hype. Is there not so people aren't buying magazines like they used to? Why did Rogers manage to sell the titles?
Well, first of all, we don't know the financial details of this. They were not disclosed, so we don't know exactly what was offered and what, made these titles still very attractive. And besides, we're talking about some of the more established names out there. Take a look at what is being sold here to St. Joseph Communications. You have Maclean, which is Canada's 114-year-old news magazine. You have Chatelaine in both English and French. Continues to be a popular magazine. Today's Parent, I don't know if we actually have pictures of these covers. Okay, Today's Parent is for parents of kids under 10 generally, and considered pretty much a Bible among many people. Hello Canada, of course, for the eye candy if you're a celebrity watcher, and you have Flair and Canadian Business, which are digital only, but still, have readership. And until 3 years ago, Rogers actually owned, it seemed like all the magazines in Canada. It had more than 200 titles, even offered them up in one single app, kind of like Netflix magazines. But about 3 years ago, it began to sell off the titles, walking away from its commitment to print, even sold the app about a year ago. So, saying that it is happy that it's found a, quote, well-established company dedicated to publishing to keep those titles alive, and SJC is all about publishing and has been for 60 years.
So what changes are likely under new ownership?
Well, the new owners say they intend to keep growing these titles. They are in the business of magazine publishing, after all, and they promised to offer jobs to all current Rogers employees, though they did not promise that the jobs would be exactly the same or even similar. Now, whenever you add units to a business, there will be duplication, so the print business does have to look for ways to save money, and we may see that down the road. For example, just the other week, Carl, which decided to move all the editorial functions of its Style at Home and Canadian Living magazines, moving away from Toronto to Montreal as a way to cut costs. But take a look at what the CEO of SJC, the buyer, is saying exactly. He says the strategies and the growth we've seen gives us confidence we can help transform these brands so they may prosper in the quickly changing media landscape. So obviously, Showbet will be more cross-promotion, making more money on advertising, and that means increasingly a more digital presence, because that's where the growth in ad dollars is.
The markets were down earlier, but that was before the latest remarks by the U.S. Federal Reserve. So
yes, Fed Chair Jerome Powell said no change to interest rates. That was expected, but also hinted that there will not be another hike for all of 2019. So all of a sudden, markets are reassured that lowering costs will continue to be where they are instead of going up. And so the Dow Jones Index, for example, went from a loss of 160 points to a gain of 32 in just that time. All markets, in fact, positive. Canadian Dow 75.30 US, taking a bit of a jump as the price of West Texas oil does go over the $60 mark for the first time since November. And this is after inventory supply showed quite a lot less inventory on hand, so that's why the dollar and oil are higher.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay.
Mike Trent of the Los Angeles Angels is signing a contract worth $430 million US. His numbers are crazy good, but is he worth that crazy money? We'll talk to his sports writer next. Let's see this edition.
eBay is a website with thousands of stores that I shop through every day to shop.
And then I received a check from there just for shopping, something I would have done anyway.
There's no hassles, no errands. So eBay, get cash back, it's awesome.
Sign up for free, shop at your favorite stores, get paid. Join today and get a $5 bonus at ebates.ca.
The Nissan Rogue. When traffic's at its toughest. The semi-autonomous technology of Nissan Pro Pilot Assist. A combination of intelligent cruise control and steering assist. Can help you conquer your commute. And now, choose your own bonus offer. Plus, get up to $1,000 sale cash on select models.
This year, the pages will fly as the great Canadian book debate returns. Who will win the title of all titles? Canada Beats 2019, March 25th to 28th on CBC.
Bruce MacArthur is now charged with and alleged to have committed 8 murders.
They were men of color, largely new Canadians.
It was kind of saying, maybe there's underlying reasons for this.
I always ask myself why.
Conservative MP Candace Bergen is speaking following question period. What's this?
Member of his caucus, it speaks volumes and not at all in a positive way. Well, that would be Justin Trudeau's explanation. That seems to be his explanation every time a woman challenges him or every time a woman describes an experience with him that isn't positive. He says, well, she just experienced it differently than I did, and we are all seeing through that. Well, what I believe offends feminist is somebody who treats women equally and believes that women should have an equal voice at the table, should be treated equally in every way, shape, and form. I can tell you, working with my leader, he elevates individuals because of their merit, not their gender, and I believe that also is what a feminist does, and I'm very proud to work with our leader, where we're not seeing every single day, like in Justin Trudeau's office, where women are leaving him in droves because he's silencing them. You know, I think that's such a hypothetical. I wouldn't even begin. I think she's probably trying to deal with now being out of the Liberal caucus. Well, the House of Commons is a place where each one of us as members of Parliament are and should be subjected to challenging debate, and many times heckling happens in the House of Commons. What female or male members of Parliament should not be subjected to is their leader phoning them and yelling and screaming at them so loudly that it can be heard through the other end of the phone, which is what happened to Selena Chavez. So, you know, maybe female ministers in the Liberal caucus don't like being heckled. I can tell you that we are heckled today. I got heckled down. I got screamed at by the Prime Minister. It's part of the job. But the other part of this, which is incredibly serious, is the fact that the Prime Minister isn't allowing Lily Wilson-Raybould to tell her side of the story. Today we found out that in no uncertain terms, the Prime Minister was not telling the truth when he said to her SNC-Lavalin was going to be leaving Montreal and the jobs, the 9,000 jobs would go. So he has misled, from what we're hearing on these reports, he has misled the former Attorney General. And that, you know, how respectful is that? Not only of this Attorney General, who happens to be a woman, but of obviously completely disrespectful of our judicial system, disrespectful of Canadians. Well, we actually did. The first time we forced the Liberals to vote all night was because we wanted Daniel Jean to come and speak to committee. That was our request. And they voted all night, and we were very pleased that he did come and he was able to be questioned at the committee. The next time we did all night, we were talking about the carbon tax and the cost of it. Truthfully, they did not reveal the cost of the carbon tax. They are still hiding that from Canadians, and they will be held responsible by Canadians at the polls. So, well, there are two things that we are wanting to accomplish. This vote could end very, very quickly. We want the Prime Minister to waive privilege on the former Attorney General. That's what our motion says. The minutes that they vote yes on that, all the voting can be finished. So it will be up to the Liberals on how long this vote continues. But I will tell you the other thing that we will not allow them to do, and that is trying to use this $40+ billion budget to change the channel on the SNC-Lavalin scandal. So we're not going to let them just kind of go about their business here, business as usual, nothing to see with the scandal. That's not what we're going to let them do. We're going to use every mechanism available to stop that.
Is it true, you put in the House, is it true that women ministers are heckling more than male ministers? We saw that Kathleen McKenna was being called a Barbie.
Yeah, I know we were called, our females, Alicia Ray was called a Neanderthal, she was called an ambulance chaser. There's the names. I've been told to sit down and shut up. Listen, at the end of the day, I actually don't, there's heckling that goes on, I don't look and see, is it a female or a male? I think that heckling happens, but ministers in this government certainly are challenged, and when we have ministers, male or female, who are continuing to cover up for Justin Trudeau, it's horrible to see. It goes to the very nature, to the very foundation of our democracy. So these cabinet ministers, the ones who have stood up to him, have been treated very disrespectfully by the Prime Minister. And I think any minister would rather take many, many days of heckling than they would by being disrespected, silenced, and fired by their own Prime Minister. That is the ultimate. Well, the Attorney General was fired from her job. Well, we actually don't know, because she actually hasn't been able to tell her side of that story, do we? So I would say that that is not feminism in any way, shape, or form. Thank you.
That is Candace Bergen, the Conservative House Leader, reacting to the news from earlier today that we learned that Selena Cesar-Chauvin, she was a Liberal MP, that she is going to sit as an independent. That news was brought to us by the Prime Minister on his way into the House of Commons earlier today. We have some breaking news out of Brockville, Ontario. A judge has handed down a sentence for a man convicted in a so-called sexomnia sexual assault. Mira Baines has been following this story and joins me now. So, Mira, what's the sentence?
The judge convicted Ryan Hartman to 1 year in jail and 3 years probation for sexually assaulting Becca Doust. He's been found guilty of sexually assaulting her twice. This happened after 2 trials. He was found guilty of anally penetrating Doust as she slept beside her boyfriend on an air mattress at a house party. The first trial took place in 2012 and has garnered a lot of attention because of the defense. Hartman's lawyer had successfully argued that his client suffered from sexomnia, that he was asleep at the time of the assault, and that he didn't know what he was doing, that he was unaware. But the judge in this case has rejected that defense. And then his lawyer tried to argue under a Jordan application that he didn't receive his trial within a reasonable time frame, and the judge rejected that. And so we have the sentence today, 1 year in jail. Doust is now 31 years old, and she had a publication ban on her name lifted so she could speak out about this case. Take a listen to what she had to say earlier today.
I sat through the first trial, and I listened to him deny everything. So coming back around the second time saying, okay, I did it, but I'm not criminally responsible. And then the second time I testified, sitting there watching him rock back and forth in his chair with not a care in the world. He just doesn't have it, and I've come to terms with it. It still makes me angry, and it frustrates me, but he's not sorry, and that's something I have to live with.
And the judge in this case, Justice Kimberly Moore, stated that the gravity of this offense cannot be overstated. Andrew?
Mira, thank you. Disney has purchased 21st Century Fox. The deal, valued at more than $71 billion, closed today and gives the Walt Disney Company the film and TV assets of Fox. This means Disney will own the rights to even more popular characters like Westman and the Simpsons. It also includes Avatar and Ice Age. Disney currently owns the rights to Marvel Studios and Star Wars. This deal will give Disney a lot of ammunition to take on the streaming giants Netflix and Amazon. Baseball superstar Mike Trout has already been named MVP and Rookie of the Year in his short Major League career. He is about to earn another title, owner of the largest deal in pro sports history. Trout is poised to sign a contract extension with the Los Angeles Angels for 12 years and worth more than $430 million US. The deal will pay the outfielder nearly $36 million US a year. The salaries of superstars in other sports pale in comparison. Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers in the NHL makes about $12.5 million a year. Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins earns around $8.7 million a year. Mike Riley of the BC Lions is the biggest earner in the Canadian Football League, the CFL, with a contract worth about $700,000 a year. So despite the size of that contract, there is some suggestion Trout is actually underpaid. Dave Scheiner has said that himself. He's the national baseball writer for the Washington Post and joins me now. So Dave, how can it be that an athlete will earn $36 million a year and be underpaid?
Well, context is everything, right? I mean, believe me, I understand how it's an obscene amount of money by a societal measure, and when we take it in the context of a full society, I've heard from readers on Twitter and email that are just astounded and sickened by the contract, and I get it. But in the context of baseball, a very narrow context of the pay scale in baseball, he should be making a lot more money because he is so much better than anybody else currently playing the game. He is the best player of his era by far. The only comparisons we can really make to him anymore are players like Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds. That's how good this guy is. and yet when you break down his contract on a per-year basis, at about $36 million a year, he's just narrowly ahead of the next highest paid player in the game, and there's a slew of players right behind that. And so, you know, Mike Trout at $36 million, it sounds like a ton of money, but in the context of baseball, he's probably worth upward of $40 million per year based on what he produces and the value he gives on the field.
So you think you've suggested that Mike Trout could have left money on the table in negotiations?
Yeah, I think there's no question about it. He signed this contract about a year and a half before he reached his free agency. And if he were to reach free agency, I'm fairly certain, and people in the industry have told me this as well, that the number would certainly be over $500 million if he were to get to free agency. And you have teams like the New York Yankees, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Philadelphia Phillies, big coastal teams that have immense revenues bidding against each other for his services. He absolutely left tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on the table.
So this contract will make Mike Trout, will take Mike Trout into his late 30s. Won't his production decline as he ages?
Yeah, no question about it. That's almost standard anymore for players to lose production in their mid to late 30s. But I think that, in the case of Trout, you're starting at such a high level that a typical decline would still make him a productive player in those years, whereas a less